Hello, friends. Today, for math, we're going to continue to collect data around things we can do in a given amount of time. So, you've been collecting data around certain exercises or ways you can move your body in a set amount of time. Today, we're going to collect data around how many shapes you can draw in a given amount of time. So, the way it's going to work is I'm going to give you the kind of shape you're going to draw. I'm going to give you the amount of seconds you have to draw it, and then I'm going to count backwards, and your job will be to draw as many as you can of that shape in a given amount of time. Afterwards, you'll collect data on how many shapes you drew. We'll do it again with another shape, and then you can compare how many of one shape you drew as compared to another, seeing which quantity is greater and which quantity is less, proving it using a number sentence. Those are all of the steps. I'm going to demonstrate for you one now, and you're welcome to do it with me if you want. So the first thing to play this game, the materials you're going to need are something to write on, like paper or a whiteboard. Either one's fine. You could use a notebook, really anything. And then something to write with, so like a marker or a pencil or a dry erase marker if you're using a whiteboard. Any of those things will work. So for me, I'm going to use a dry erase board and a dry erase marker. If you need, pause this video while you collect those materials. Great. Once you're ready, I'm going to give you this kind of shape you're going to draw and the amount of time you have to do it. So the first one is we're going to see how many circles we can draw in 10 seconds. So I'm going to count backwards from 10. When I get 0, we'll stop. Okay? So I know that just so we remember, a circle is a shape with all curved lines. So that's what we're going to be drawing for 10 seconds. See how many you can do. Ready, set, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Great. Now your job is to see how many circles you drew in that amount of time. So you can touch one, count one, your own circles. I'm going to touch one, count one, mine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I drew 13 circles. I wonder how many circles you drew in 10 seconds. However many you did, you're going to write that numeral next to your last circle. I know that for the number 13, the numerals 1 and 3 come together to make 13. Okay? So there's one set of shapes. We're going to do our next set of shapes on the part of the paper or whiteboard that's still blank. I'm going to draw a straight line to separate the two sections, just so I don't get confused. You don't have to do that. It's just going to help me keep my work organized, which sometimes makes me a better learner. So we're going to do 10 seconds again, but this time you're going to be working with the shape triangles. Please remember that a triangle is a shape with all straight lines. It has 3 sides and 3 corners. You can make your triangles however you want. You can make the corners smaller than L's like I just did. You can make it so the corners are L's or smaller than L's like that one. Or you can make a combination of those things as long as you're making triangles and you're doing that in 10 seconds. Ready, set, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Great. So now, just like with the circles, you're going to touch one, count one, how many triangles you did. I'm going to touch one, count one, mine. You can touch one, count one, your own. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I drew 11 triangles. I wonder how many you drew. And just like before, by the last triangle, you're going to write the number that matches the quantity of how many triangles you drew. For me, that was 11, and I know that the numerals 1 and 1 come together to make 11. So now I know that in 10 seconds, I can draw 13 circles and 11 triangles. Which quantity is greater? Now for me, I know that 13 is greater than 11 because 13 is more than 11. To record that, I'm going to use a number sentence using the greater than less than symbol. And I know that the greater than less than symbol points its hungry mouth towards the greater number. So if I have it like this, I can read it as, ready, set, read, 13 is greater than 11. And now I know that I can make more circles than triangles in 10 seconds, and I've collected data to prove it. Now, if you wanted to challenge yourself, one thing you could do was also figure out, once you have your greater quantity, you could do math to figure out how many more is it. So if I know 13 is greater than 11, by how much? That would be a way to push your brain to challenge yourself to try some more math. But this is what we're going to work all together on today. So now that we've done circles and triangles, we're going to start over with another one. So get a new piece of paper, or you can erase your whiteboard and start over. And I'm going to have you, friends, do this one, and I'm not going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the shape. I'll draw one just so we can practice and we know what it looks like and we know what kinds of sides and corners it has. Then I'm going to tell you how long you have to do it, and I'm going to count backwards for the amount of time while you work on drawing your shapes. Okay? So, next one we're going to do is this shape. A square. A square has 4 sides and 4 corners, and all of the sides are the same length. The corners of a square are the same shape as L's. So, that's what the shape that you're going to be working on. You're going to see how many squares you can do in 20 seconds, okay? So get your paper or your whiteboard and your writing tool ready to draw squares for 20 seconds. I'll be counting backwards, so you just worry about making the squares. Here we go. Ready, set, go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Keep going. 12, 11. You got it. 10, 9, 8, 7. See how many more you can do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Stop. I wonder how many squares you made. Take a second, pause this video, please, and touch one, count one, and see how many squares you made. When you're done, write that numeral that matches the quantity of how many squares you drew next to the last square. So please pause this video. Great. I wonder how many squares you made in those 20 seconds. Now, we're going to do our second shape. So you can either use whatever space on the paper or whiteboard you still have, or if you need to get a new one, that's okay too. Either one of those things are fine. And the one we're going to compare squares against is this shape. We're going to compare squares against a trapezoid. That's a hard shape to draw. Trapezoid has 4 sides and 4 corners. 2 of the sides are straight across, horizontal. 2 of the sides are diagonal. Some of the corners are smaller than L's, and some of the corners are bigger than L's. You're going to do trapezoids for 20 seconds. Trapezoids for 20 seconds. You got it. Okay, so get your paper ready and your writing tool ready. I'm going to count backwards from 20. You're doing trapezoids for 20 seconds. Ready, set, go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You can do it. You can do these hard things. 3, 2, 1, 0. There we go. Make your last trapezoid. Great. Now you're going to touch one, count one, and see how many trapezoids you made in 20 seconds. Pause this video and touch one, count one to see how many trapezoids you made in 20 seconds. When you're done with that, you can label the last trapezoid with the quantity, the numeral that matches that quantity. Great, so now you have your set of squares you made in 20 seconds labeled with their quantity, and the set of trapezoids you made in 20 seconds labeled with their quantity. Now, your last job is to write a number sentence comparing those 2 quantities using the greater than symbol, just like we did earlier with circles and triangles. So write the 2 numerals and use the greater than symbol to show which one's greater. Again, if you want to challenge yourself, you can figure out, use your math brain to figure out how much greater was the greater quantity. That's just a way to challenge yourself. But everybody, please do the number sentence with the greater than symbol. Great. When you're done, send that work to your teacher so we can see how many trapezoids and squares you were able to draw, and also which quantity was greater and by how much. You can continue to play this game as much as you want. You could do how many hexagons in 30 seconds versus how many cylinders in 30 seconds. Any 2 shapes in any set amount of time is a great way to collect data and compare quantities. So I hope you have fun playing this game today, and I can't wait to see what your math brain comes up with.